So yesterday's class, we have implemented a screen flow, right? What it will do is it will deactivate the account in case if it does not have any open opportunities. In case if it has some opportunities, it will just display an error message. Okay. So we have seen, and that the one thing that we did yesterday is whenever we are getting the opportunities for a particular amount, so the account that we are using is we were hard coded, right? We just created a constant value with some hard coded account ID. So, and today what I'm going to show you is obviously whenever we are implementing some automation, it should work for each and every account, not only for a single account, right? So, what we have to do for that, how to pass this record ID, particular account record ID dynamically. Okay. Whenever we want to pass anything dynamically to a particular flow, okay, the first thing is we have to create a variable, guys. Okay, these variables we are going to set from other places. Okay, so one of the variable which I have created is this one. Let me just delete it. Okay, so I went to the new resource. Whenever you are going to the new resource, you can create different types of things these things that you can use in your flows. Yesterday we have seen how to create a constant, and just we are using that constant whenever we need it. Okay. So today I'm going to create a variable. Okay. So basically variable is something like that record ID. So I would like to store the record ID, right? That's the given API name I have given record ID. Data types, always it is going to store the text value. So availability outside the flow. Okay, this is something available for input and available for output. Okay, basically from outside the flow, we are going to set this one. So we are going to get the input, right? We have to check this checkbox. Okay. And if there is some value you calculated in the flow and you stored it, and after that you are going to send this value outside of the flow, then it's a output. For now, in our case, we are receiving the value from the record outside of the flow, right? So I just checked this checkbox available for input. Okay. So my variable is ready. Okay. This is something record ID variable, guys. This is something I just did actually before our class. Okay, that's the reason you were able to see the record ID variable. Okay, let me just refresh it, reload. I can see it, record ID. Okay. So after you create the record ID, guys, you have to activate your flow. That is what something I have did it. Okay. I have activated, I just created the record ID variable and then I have activated this flow so that I can set this record ID from outside of the flow. Then especially for the screen flows, how to set the record IDs. For that to set the record IDs, we have to go to our lightning pages. Okay. We have to go to our lightning record pages. And then we can click on edit lightning record page. Then from the components, you can just search for flow component and drag that component to your components list. And this is the way you can just select which flow you want to pass values. Okay. Here it will display all the available flows that you can just set the values. Okay, I have selected account inactivation flow. Okay, and the record ID automatically it is going to set a record ID, guys. Pass record ID into this variable. Whatever the current record ID, whenever you load your page, automatically that particular record ID is going to store under this record ID field. Okay, this record ID variable I can say. So click on save, and then whenever we do the lightning page changes, we have to activate also. Okay. So I'm just going to assign as app defaults. Otherwise, let me just move it as a arc defaults. It's already arc defaults, guys. So let it be only. We just click on activation, right? Let it be. And click on save. Okay. So now I'll go to my flow because that's it, guys. These are the two things you need to do. You need to create a variable inside the flow, and then you need to set that variable under lightning record pages by adding the flow component. Okay. From the flow component, you can set the flow name, and then you can just check the record ID variable. Okay. Now let me just open up my flow. And what I'll do is, I'll take off the hard-coded account ID with this variable. Okay. So my first action that I'm hard-coded the account ID is get records, right? So this is the way I have hard-coded the account ID. So instead of using this account ID constant, I'm going to use a variable. Record ID variable. Okay. So this is the one change I did. Okay. And then again, get accounts. I'm using the hard-coded ones. Instead of that, I'm going to make it as a record ID variable. Okay. And update accounts, anyway, we haven't hard-coded anything. We just, okay. Here also, so in case guys update accounts, anyway, here we are filtering and querying again. So we don't require this get account action. So in get account also, we are doing the same thing. Okay. We are going to get the account record. In update account also, we are doing the same thing. We are getting the account record and then we are updating. So this action is not required. We can simply delete. It's just a duplicate. So in case if it has or if doesn't have any open opportunities, then it will come to the default path. In this case, what we are doing is we are getting the accounts where the account ID is this thing, and then we are updating a status field to former customer. Okay. So there are changes. Save as new version because we did the changes, right? On the active flow, we did the changes, guys. So whenever we want to save the changes on the active flow, we have to save it as a new version. So version 3 is the thing which is right now. Okay. So this is a simple screen flow, guys. We are getting the opportunities of particular account, and then we are checking that whether it has opportunities, open opportunities, whether the list size is zero or not. That is something we are checking. If the list size is not zero, then we are displaying a message to the users, or if it's zero, then we are updating the account to former account. Okay, let me just activate it. So yesterday we have seen it was working, but it works only for the one account. But today the same functionality will work for all the accounts. Let me open up our app. Okay. I'm opening up account. So let me open up my account. Does it have any opportunities? Actually, it doesn't have any opportunities. Okay. So if I see status, the status is also blank. If I click on inactivate account now, basically the opportunity size is zero. So it should not stop me to make it as a former account. Okay, your flow is finished. And obviously we have seen, right, the status becomes former account. We can go to the details. Okay. So like this, you can check for any account, it will work. If I take off Dixon PLC account, if I go to the opportunities, it has one opportunity with qualification status. So what should happen this time? If anybody is trying to inactivate this account, it should stop the user. Okay, this account has in progress opportunities. Please close the opportunities before making this as a former customer. Okay, so this is how you can make the account IDs are generic, guys. Not only the account IDs. So in your flow, if you would like to get the contact IDs, then obviously you have to go to, if your flow is on contact, then if your quick action is on contact object, then you can pass the contact record ID using the Lightning app pages. My quick action on account records. So I'll go to I went to the account Lightning page, and then I have passed the record ID. Okay. I'm going to give you a small pause here, guys. Any questions on passing the record IDs to screen flows? Okay. With this, we are done with the screen flows, guys. Those are the basic things that you need to know about the screen flows. Okay. So we have to, whenever there is a scenario, we have to analyze it. Okay. Let me just some example scenarios, right? And hmm. Let me take off this scenario and place under the screen flows example scenario. Okay. Okay. So this is the example scenario, and I'll just place the screenshot of my flow so that you will just get the idea. Okay. But internally, how we set up, I'll not place each and everything, but this is something I'll just place it. So this is something, guys, once you are comfortable with your flows, right? Instead of going and checking by reading these names itself, you can be able to understand, okay, what is this flow is doing. Okay. Okay. Now, let me move on to the second type of flows, record triggered flows. If you are comfortable with one type of flow, guys, rest of the things itself, some more minor or tweaks to those flows. Okay. So, next thing is the record triggered flows. This is here. Okay. Record triggered flows. There are many situations that we are going to use these flows. In all our flows, 60% of the usage is record triggered flows. So these flows are we can configure to execute these type of flows. We can configure to execute whenever a record is created, edited, or deleted. Okay. And then limitations of this flow. Limitations of record trigger flows. Okay. One of the limitation is you cannot call a screen flow. Okay. Or display a screen. Okay. So this is one of the limitation, guys. You cannot display, you cannot call a screen flow from record triggered flow, or you cannot display a screen. That means if I update the record status to something else, if I want to see a message, then obviously that is the scenario of screen flow. You can't, you can't take an action if I update the field, then if I want to see the screen, no, that is not possible using the record triggered flow. So if I go to here and then you can simply click on, you can go to the flows home page and new flow. The second type of flow is the record triggered flow. Okay. Here if you click on the thing, right? See, interaction elements, you can see action, subflow, and you can display an error message. Okay. So you can display like a validation error messages. If you can display the error message. But if you want to display like a screen, that is not possible. You will not get the option of screen here. So that is one of the limitation of the screen flows. That's the reason whenever you want to display like a screen of values, we have to go with the screen flows. And we have to check that field value is so and so, then display the screen. Okay. And then, um, Okay. So the same thing, the components, guys, the first thing that we need to learn about is record triggered flow. Okay. There is no entry criteria for screen flow, guys. Okay. Screen flows will get invoked on click of button or somewhere else. Okay. But for the record triggered flow, you can configure the entry criteria. So when you want to call this flow, you want to call this flow whenever a record is created or updated, a record is created or updated, record is deleted. Okay. These are the four times. These are the whenever you do any one of this operation, CRUD operation, then we can call the record triggered flows. Okay. So in my case, guys, so in the previous example, right, what we are doing, whenever we are doing the accounts, okay, whenever I'm just making it as a, whenever I'm trying to inactivate an account, okay, when it is checking, is there any open opportunities or not? Okay, let's tweak that example a little bit. Whenever I am trying to inactivate an account, that means status I am going to set it as a former customer. Okay. Then automatically it should make all my open opportunities as closed lost. Okay. I no need to take any action because this customer is not responsive to me. That's the reason I would like to make this customer as the former customer. Then what's the hell of going to each and every opportunity? In my case, it's the simple debug, so I have two or three opportunities. So I'm doing some operations. But in the real time arc, an account can contain multiple open opportunities, maybe 100, maybe 50, going to each and every opportunity and updating the opportunities to close lost. It's a big heck of time, right? So to avoid that thing, our customers may request for whenever my account is status is going to be former account, then update all my opportunities to close lost. Okay. I mean, active or in progress opportunities, not already closed one opportunities we will never touch, but whatever the in progress opportunities we have, make it as a closed lost. Okay. In that scenario, that is the another example of the record triggered flow. So whenever a record is not created, guys, right? Whenever a record is created or updated. If any record is creating and obviously making the former customer is always an update, right? At the time of creating the account, nobody will create the inactive accounts, right? So this is the update. This is just simply depending on our requirements. We just need to identify what is the triggering condition. Okay. In my case, it's the updating. It's the triggering condition. So I have selected. Okay. On the update, what is the condition? Do we need to update all the records irrespective of any condition, or do I have any certain conditions? Okay. I have a condition. So what is the condition? Account status. Okay. Whenever account status says informer, um, former customer. Okay. Whenever account status as former customer, this is how you can configure the criteria. And then we need to do the fast field updates. There are two things that we can do it here, guys. Fast field updates, actions and related records. Okay. So fast field updates is in the sense of if you want to update the same account record that is started this flow is something we are going to select fast fields update. Okay. So update fields on the records that triggers the flow to run. Okay. Basically, before the record is going to the database, if you want to update something on the same record, we will go to the fast field updates. Simply, it's a, whenever you want to update something on the same record, fast field updates. Not same record, it's related records. For example, in case of account, opportunities are the related records, contacts are related records, cases are related records, because for all these things account is the parent object, right? So such case, actions and related records. In my case, I need to make all the open opportunities as closed lost. Okay, so I made it. These are the shortcuts, guys. Whenever you are trying to, so this is the entry criteria that you need to set. What is the object? What is the record CRUD permission? And what are the filter conditions to filter out the which records should come to this flow? Okay. And then actions. Are we going to update the same or are we going to update the related records? Okay. This is entry criteria that you have selected, and you have selected actions and related records. Okay. And here. Okay. So these are the two things that we have given as the shortcuts, guys. Update triggering record. That means fast field updates. Whenever you want to do the fast fields update, you will just select update the records. And here you can just update the same record that is triggering in this flow. Okay. No, I don't want to do this thing. If I want to update related records. Okay. This is the where also you just need to select one record from your related object. That's it. You have to give. Okay. You just need to give. This is also an update records action only. Okay. From the data management actions. That's the reason they are saying shortcuts, guys. Okay. Basically, from the data, whenever you select update records, you will get the same actions. But here you need to think whether you need to update the triggering record or you need to update the related records. Okay. So instead of that, if you are already think that I would like to update the triggering record, then first option will get selected automatically. If I would like to update the related records, second option will get selected automatically. Okay. That's the reason they said it as a shortcuts. Okay. Instead of selecting option by yourself, if you select this thing, then automatically it will just select that particular thing. But basically, these two are intern part of update records. Okay. If you click on update records also, you will come to the same thing where you can just select whether you want to update the triggering flow or whether you want to update the related records, or if you already have some IDs like some list of variable, we can create some variables. Okay. Collection variable, and you can use that one. Okay. Otherwise, you can simply specify the conditions and set the fields and update it. Okay. Like these are the different ways that we can do. Okay. And the second thing, and the third shortcut it has is send email alerts, because basically these are the three actions that we do left and right using these record triggered flows. That's the reason they have added them into the shortcuts. So send an email alert. Basically from the actions, you can select that thing. You can just select the action, and as part of the action, here you can just select send email. Okay. Instead of doing these two steps, they just given a shortcut. Okay. So here it will just it will just provide us the all email alerts that are available, and you can just simply select the email. Okay. So these are three are nothing but the shortcuts that generally we can do from the actions or database operations. So if we leave about the shortcuts, okay, basically common used functions, they made it as a shortcuts. Okay. If we leave about the shortcuts, let's think about the interaction elements. So action, subflow, custom error. These are the three things we have. In screen flows, we have action, subflow, and screen. Okay. If we see elements of screen flow, we have already captured, guys. Okay. What are the interaction elements we have? We have screens, actions, and subflows. Okay. But whereas in the record triggered flows, okay, elements of record triggered flows. So again, it's a three types: interaction elements, logical, data. Okay. So in the interaction elements, okay. So what are there in the interaction elements of the screen flows? It's action, subflow, custom, error. Okay. Action, subflow, custom, error. Whereas in screen flows, they have action, subflow, screens. Okay. And then logical. So if you see the logical, it's assignment, decision, loop, transform, collection sort, collection filter. It's almost same, right? There's no difference at all. So in our screen flows also, let me just open up the one of the screen flow, guys, in a side by side tab. Instead of moving scroll bar in our things, right? Let me just open up our existing screen flow. So if I see the elements in the logical elements, it's assignment, decision, loop, transform, collection sort, and collection filter. So there is no difference at all. Okay. And then data operations. Data operations are something like create record, update records, get record, delete records, rollback records. So in record flow also, it's create records, update records, get records, delete records. What is missing? Rollback records. Okay. So if anything happened as part of these records, you can't roll back it. So this is your second limitation of the record triggered flow. Using screen flows, we can roll back the records. That means inside this flow, if you updated some records, okay, you can roll back those records. Okay. If certain conditions is not matching or some exceptions are happened, okay, in all cases you can configure rollback of the records in the screen flows, but record triggered flows rollbacking is not possible. Okay, so I'm just writing like a same as screen flow. Data operations also, it's same as screen flow except rollback. Okay. So the second limitation of your screen record trigger flows is The records which are updated or which are deleted as part of the record triggered flow, you don't have the ability to roll back. Okay. Records which are updated or created or deleted as part of record triggered flows, we can't roll back them. Okay. That is the second limitation, guys. Okay. That's it. The major difference is how we are going to invoke the flow. Okay. Screen flows are from buttons or from any lightning pages or this thing. Record triggered flows are something like that. Whenever you change the record, okay, then it is going to execute the flow. And after that, coming to the elements, you cannot call screen flows from record triggered flows the same way record triggered flows from screen flows. Okay. That is the third limitation you can just note down. We cannot call screen flows from record triggered flows or record triggered flows from screen flows. Okay. We can't call screen flows from record triggered flows. And the elements are almost same except the rollback ones. So now if we see in our 5 scenarios, guys, okay, um, okay, these are the examples, right? Um, okay, let me keep these examples here itself. Also, I'll just take off one by one at the last also. Okay. In the record trigger flows, example scenarios of record trigger flows. Okay, we need to submit opportunity for an approval when an opportunity amount is greater than 5,000. Okay. This is one of the example of the record trigger flow. So whenever you are creating a record, opportunity record or updating the opportunity record, you need to check the amount value. Whenever it is greater than 5,000, then you need to submit that for approval. Okay. Then whenever I create an account, I would like to update a customer support email on the customer support contact email field. This is also another example of the record triggered flow. So here what they are telling is whenever they are going to create an account, okay, they would like to update it some field which is present on the, I mean, on customer support contact email field. So they would like to update a field on the same record, customer support contact email field. Okay. Automatically, guys. Okay. Whenever I'm creating an account, that field should be automatically populated. So this is second scenario of record triggered flow. Okay. Then the rest of the things is account type field on contact. Whenever type is updated on account, all respective contacts of this account should be updated as the same. Okay. This is also, sorry. Okay. This is also another example of record triggered flow. Okay. So what here they are asking is there is a account type field on account. Whenever this type is updated, The same account type field is present on contact also. So they would like to update all the related contacts with the same account type. Okay. This is another example of record triggered flows. Okay. And the next thing is need to delete cases which are spam or created by mistake status. This is an example of scheduled flows, guys. Okay. See, this is something like that. They would like to delete the cases which are spam or created by mistake. This also we can do it in a two ways, guys. Depends on requirement. As soon as they make the case status as spam or case status as created by mistake, if they would like to delete the case, then obviously that is also record triggered flow. Okay. No, I don't want to do immediately. Okay. I want to have a process that should run daily or weekly. Okay. Okay. Daily or weekly. Then that should check is there any cases with the status of spam or with the status of created by mistake. Then I would like to delete it. They would like to perform action on a particular specific time. So that will take you to the scheduled flows. Okay. If they want to take the action immediately as soon as the status is getting updated, then record flow. Okay. So here if you want to write another example of record triggered flows, need to delete the case. Need to delete a case when the status is updated as, okay. In this case, simple modification. Whenever we want to delete a case, when the status is updated as spam or created by mistake, okay, then that will come to record triggered flows. Okay. These are the few examples of record triggered flows, guys. Okay. Let me take one example first. Okay. And show you how to implement it. Okay. So this is our record triggered flow. In our first example, what they are asking is we need to submit an opportunity for an approval. Okay. So obviously, edit. In that scenario, they are what object they are talking about? They are talking about the opportunity object. So the entry criteria, the object is opportunity. And then what is the entry criteria? Amount is greater than 500, right? Amount is greater than 5,000. Okay. And another thing is when this should happen, that is another thing. We need to submit an opportunity for an approval when the opportunity's amount is greater than 5,000. They haven't mentioned whether it is a creation time or whether it is a updated time. Okay. So then this is the situation we need to think. Do we need to select create alone or do we need to select update alone or do we need to select both? Yeah. Basically, just think about the situations. I'm creating the opportunity at the newly fresh opportunity. There is a chance of giving opportunity amount as 5,000. Okay. And there is also another chance. I'll create the opportunity for 1,000. Then I can update also, right? I can do the update. I can add some more products to that opportunity. Automatically, my price will get increased. So, this amount change can happen at the time of creation or at the time of addition. So we will select both the times. So execute this flow because their request is whenever amount is crosses 5,000, send, whether it is creation or updation. Okay, that's the reason we have selected this one. Okay, what is our action that we are going to take? The action that we need to take is we need to send an email alert. It is not the we need to update the some other field which is present on the same record, which is not that one. The action is we need to send the email notification. That means it's not related to fast fields. So we have selected actions and related records. Okay. Let me delete all these dummy ones. We can delete element. Okay. So here you are going to select action. Okay. So as part of this action, you can select email alert. Okay, these are the different email alerts. And if you have created your own email alerts also, you can just select. I'm just sending some test email. I just okay. I just selected some uh, success. So here I just need to select some record ID, which is actually email alert on the cases, guys. But basically, I just need to check um, anything which is there on the opportunity. Okay, this is something email alert on opportunity. So I can select this one. Okay, so whenever we are selecting the email alert, we just need to select the record type, record ID also. So this record ID simply for the record triggered flow. So for the screen flows, you need to pass the record, guys. Okay. From the lightning record page. But from the record triggered flows, you no need to pass from any other places. Automatically, the record you can access it from, see, triggering opportunity. Always. And if you want to see what are the prior values of your opportunities, then prior values of triggering opportunity. There are many scenarios. Current value is not matching with the previous value, which is present on the database. Display some error messages or display some actions. Okay. So record ID, that is something you can access from the triggering opportunity dot ID. Okay. And click on save. So flow label amount greater than 5,000 notification. Okay. Click on save. Okay. My flow is ready, guys. In the record trigger flow, I have configured when the record is created or updated. Okay. And my amount is greater than 5,000. And I'm going to send the notifications. Okay. But what will happen is this is my account record and this is my opportunity record. Okay. So let me just click on edit. Okay. This time actually I haven't updated any amount, guys. Okay. I was just trying to update the type. Click on save. If I check my mailbox, right, I would have received the email notification. I haven't received because I haven't activated my flow. This is inactive only. Click on save, activate. Okay, I have activated it. So I'm going to this opportunity details. I'm going to update the type to new customer and clicking on save. So I have updated this record and this record opportunity amount is more than, oh, this is just 2000. Okay, then let me just, okay. So I did the flow changes right after activation. So I have to create the new version and activate it. Okay. So let me again do the same thing. I'm trying to update this opportunity. Type to something else. Click on save. So you can't see anything in the front end, guys, like screen flow, because everything happened in the back end. If your record trigger flow will trigger and it will just go to the email alerts. Let me check the email alert. Okay. This is the one. Inform to sales group is the one description. For this alert, yeah, my user has the part of recipient, so I should receive the notification. See, this is the one which is configured, the email. Okay, I have received the notification. So what I'll do again is, this is 0 minutes ago. What I'll do is, okay, I got a notification more than it is thousand. So let me try to give something else in the opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This time I haven't changed any amount or anything, guys. I just updated the order number. And if I refresh my mailbox, I would have received another email notification. Okay. See, I received another email notification. Okay. Your opportunity amount is updated. Let me do something else. I'll try to add some tracking numbers. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add some tracking number, clicking on the save. Going to get another email notification. Okay, this is wrong, guys. My requirement is everybody feels like, okay, we have configured correctly. Um, okay, we have configured correctly. Everything is correct, amount is greater than 1000, but make sure that, guys, always your record triggered flow will fire when you do that particular change, not every time when you update it and it satisfies that criteria. Every time when you are updating it, the amount is always greater than 1000, but you have to send the notification when the amount is changed and its value is greater than 1000. Okay. So most of the times when you are writing the record trigger flow, we have to add this condition is changed. Okay. Is changed to true. Okay. Whenever the amount is changed, that is the case, you can click on save and activate your new version. Okay. This time, right, it will not fire if I try to change something else. I'm trying to change the delivery or installation status. Still, my account is greater than 1000 only, but I'll not receive an email notification. Okay, see, after 11 to there is no email notification. Okay, because I have changed the record, but my amount is not changed exactly. That means they might have doing some other updates on this record, which is not at all related to my functionality. So every time when we are using the record trigger flow, we need to make sure that we have handled each changed scenarios. Otherwise, that's the major key thing that you need to remember. Okay, so that's it. This is the simple flow. For the record trigger flow, the initial configuration is very, very important, guys. Okay. And whenever you are configuring these things, there are some other things also optional. Add scheduled path. Okay. Two things. Run immediately and add scheduled path. So whenever you did some change on the record, after certain amount of time, if you would like to execute some things, then this is the way which we are going to offset number 30 and offset options. 30 minutes after, 30 minutes before, or 30 days after, or 30 days minutes, or some months after, some months before. Okay. Like this, you can configure it. Okay. So this is something we can write scheduled paths. But I'm sure, guys, I have been using this functionality of flow with scheduled path has time resource based on the time field can't contain the each changed operation in a condition. Okay. Edit. So whenever you want to use the scheduled path actions, you should not use is changed, guys. Okay. But you can select the second option only when your record is updated to meet the condition requirements. Okay, this is also works like a is changed only. Okay, if you are in a situation that you have to use some scheduled path as well as the some immediate actions, then you can select the second option. This is also something, it's kind of whenever a record is updated to meet above criteria. That means whenever an amount is updated to meet. Okay. Or else if you don't have scheduled scenarios, then it's you can directly use the is changed function in the criterias. Okay, so after 30 minutes, you would like to do some actions, then scheduled paths. But I'm sure 99% this is not working, guys. This is the one of the biggest drawback of the flows. It seems to be possible, but I have used this functionality left and right from the last 6 months, and it will work only the chance of executing tasks accurately is 30 to 40%. 90% of the times they are not going to work. They'll not do the action that you have mentioned here in the scheduled path. Uh, Still, I don't know the reasons, guys. You will not find any logs. Nothing you will find to see. But it has the feature, but it won't work 100% accurately. So this is the what is the biggest challenge that you have faced in the flows? Okay. So this is one of the important interview question, guys. Not important interview question, damn sure interview question. When you are working with the flows, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced? Okay. The biggest challenge is whenever we are scheduling something to run asynchronously, that means after some time, those actions are not working. Let me write. Okay. First, let me take the screenshot of this. Okay, it is showing inactive, right? Let me save and activate. Okay, I don't want to perform any actions, but we have any actions, we can perform it. Okay. Okay, this is the simple record trigger flow. Using this, we can schedule the actions immediately, or we can schedule the actions after certain period of time. Okay. But but major challenge that we are seeing with this is we are seeing with scheduled with record flows are 60% of the times scheduled actions are not working as expected. Not able to see logs. What happened in logs? Okay. Because of this, we have we have to move these actions to Apex. Okay. Basically, using the flows, we have to achieve these scheduled actions, guys. They have, as per the configurations, we can see that we can configure for 30 minutes, for 1 month, 3 months, 2 months, like whatever the configuration we want, we can configure it through the flows. But coming to the execution, they will work for only 40%. 40% of the, I mean, 40% of the times they are working, 60% of the times they are not working as expected. So finally, we are ending up with writing some codes using Apex to do such type of scheduled work. Okay, this is the major drawback that we have seen in the flows, guys. Okay, that's it for today. Any questions on record trigger flows? Okay, in case of no questions, guys, please try to implement the rest of the scenarios also. 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can just try it out. And if you have any questions, I will help you. Okay. You can just try to do it, and if you just ask me, ma'am, I tried this way and I tried to configure this way, but it was not working as expected, then I'll correct you guys. But 2 3 4 are for your examples of you need to implement it. Okay. Yeah, that's your assignment, guys. If you don't have any questions, please feel free to drop off. Thank you.